Good morning, Princess, and welcome members of the court from Infinity Beach. I think that's what this is called, here aboard the beautiful new Norwegian Prima. But that's not what we're going to talk about right now. It's time to just let you know about Carnival Sunrise. Was it sunshine? No, it was sunrise. Definitely sunrise. Let's just start with the bad. This was not a great sailing. A lot of things went well, but it just wasn't, I don't know, we'll do the whole rundown later in the year, but I think you're going to know which is probably going to come out at the bottom of the list. A few things and a few acknowledgments and a few, well, I guess, blames to go around. Number one, the design of this class of ship is just weird. I don't know what they were doing. I think it's the second generation after the fantasy class, and they were trying to change it up a little bit. But there were not just dead ends. There were like mazes you had to go through. And the one I kept mentioning was to get to the restaurant, you had to literally go down 1, 2, 3 flights of stairs to get there from any of the main passenger decks. That was just kind of strange. They were all fixed in the next generation, but I don't know, this is weird. Oh, and where they did the comedy shows, you had to like go through the casino, down the mid stairway, but there was no other way to get there, and down a hallway. It was just, I don't know, kind of a lot of odd, weird stuff that, I don't know, just made it hard to get around. But that's all over with. You know, there's only like 4 of those, I think. And yeah, I think 3 Carnival and 1 Costa. Probably won't ever have to deal with that again. So I just want to get that out of the way. The design is just funky. Oh, no place to sit. I remember saying that multiple times. There's no place to sit anywhere. Okay, now on to the real stuff. Things were just off from the start. I don't think most guests would have noticed this. Certainly infrequent cruisers wouldn't notice this, but I could tell really on the first day that I think there was a lot of franticism or frenetic feeling from the crew. Eventually we kind of figured out why. And things were just, I don't know, just not going very well. It's not their fault, but I don't know. I noticed it right from the beginning. That was my first untested cruise. So one thing I think they were dealing with was a lot of things were coming down from the company, probably from different departments, probably conflicting instructions from different departments. A lot of the nonsense was crumbling. It's about time. And I think they were trying to sort it all out because certain things one day, certain things another day, but then they went back and then they went back. It was just a little bit chaotic that only headquarters could actually cause. So I think everything was finally sorted out, and hopefully they're back in their groove. But yeah, too many changes too fast, and the people who really need to be coordinating this weren't doing their job. For example, at the beginning, the pianist could not accept gifts from the guests. Then he could, and then didn't want to because there were people watching, and they actually had a monitor come in a couple of nights. That was super weird. First, sing-alongs weren't allowed. Then they were allowed, but they had to give him all sorts of like sanitation equipment and everything like that. Well, equipment, like a bottle of wipes and everything like that. And then there was the monitor coming in. So, I don't know. Come on. These people needed to make up their minds. Hopefully they did, but that's the kind of thing I just noticed right from the beginning. Then the first really noticeable thing during the opening show, the Welcome Aboard show, there was a missing cast member. And I'm pretty sure I triple counted, you know, boy, 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 boy. And since there's usually 8, I presume one of the females was out of commission. Now, this happens, but that's only where it started. The next show, they were down to 6. By the 3rd night, the big headliner show for this ship, there was no show. They didn't cancel it, but it was basically in C mode. They just, just sat on stage and performed the numbers that they could for the surviving cast. At this point, I started asking questions to kind of figure out what was going on. Had a really, really good idea, and yes, just, through conversation and tidbits, yeah, it all sort of came together. Multiple departments were having problems. Some of the bars were less than optimally staffed. The dining service was unusually slow. They do want to get you in and get you out as quickly as possible. Preparation was still fine, but yeah, once you start to notice one thing, a lot of other things just sort of click into place. And yes, there was definitely a problem going on below decks. Apparently, they were dealing with an excessive number of positive test results. And I'm going to put it that way because apparently nobody was actually sick. They were just testing positive. And of course, back then, they still need to pull them out of the rotation and everything like that. And yeah, that leads to just problems everywhere. So plus 10 for the crew for dealing with this corporate nonsense over an issue that should not have existed, should never have been started, quite frankly. There was no reason to go through any of this. And, well, yeah, it does and did impact the guest experience in a very noticeable way. And I know it wasn't them, absolutely not. All of this was pushed down to them by corporate because, well, honestly, I'm kind of getting, still, I'm a little tired of these corporations. These cowardly corporations who willfully sacrifice the customer experience for which we paid by siding with a bunch of incompetent, nitwit bureaucrats who hopefully will end up in prison, right? Okay, I'm saying that again. Next time, this is not for the cruise lines, but next time the real leaders stand up for you, choose wisely. Thus, this is not a final decree, it is a royal pardon. Carnival Sunrise family, you did nothing wrong, and all is forgiven. And it's also forgotten because it is just another opportunity for me to look back and be thankful for my problems.